protect technical inventions and industrial products, end users, processes, and machinery. There are very strict criteria in order to obtain a patent. But let's hear more from Nigel. Welcome, Nigel.
Thank you, Camilla. Yeah, in order for an invention to be patentable, it has to satisfy the three criteria. The first one is newness, novelty. It has to be new, never been seen, never been talked about, never been shown anywhere else in the world. It also has to be inventive. That means it has to be not obvious to somebody who knows the subject, and it's not just an ordinary, simple continuation of variation of something else that's happened before. And a third criterion is usefulness. The invention has to be useful, it has to be applicable in industry, agriculture, medicine, education, anywhere a consumer can use it. And inventions are all about technical inventions. Patents have a life of 20 years, after which they become public domain. So they're not blocked anymore, they're free to use by anybody.
So, Nigel, patents are only for high-tech inventions, surely?
No, not at all. They can be really simple, like these metal fibers, which are just a few centimeters long. And they can be mixed into concrete and make it stronger and lighter than was possible before. So it's a really valuable commercial development which can be used in the construction industry. The patent protection takes a long time to achieve, and it costs a lot of money. And in order to make it worthwhile, an inventor, an innovator needs to understand that it has to be worth it to make the cost and the effort of finding a patent worthwhile.
So, what do patents do?
Patents, well, first of all, what they don't do, they don't protect ideas. They protect the embodiment of ideas. And that means that the owner, the innovator, the inventor, has an exclusive right to exploit the invention if he's allowed to do, if he or she is allowed to do so. The scope of a patent is determined by the patent claims, which are best written by a patent attorney, because it's a science in itself of writing patent claims. And patents or patented inventions are solutions to problems. So it has to be clear when somebody makes a patent application that there is a solution to a problem which exists. They can be very simple, like these toy bricks, or the invention can be very complicated, like this quantum computer, for example. And the whole process of going from idea to invention to protection to commercialization is called innovation.
So, where does someone get a patent, and what do you have to look out for when you've got one?
But anybody, a company or an individual, can apply for a patent at a national patent office, for example, or it can apply to the European Patent Office for protection in a number of European countries, or even at the World Intellectual Property Organization for a much wider international potential protection. Although you should know that there's no such thing as a world patent. Again, just so that we go back to the beginning, patents are for inventions which are new, inventive, and useful.
So, what about the costs?
Ah, interesting. Yeah, the costs are there. There are costs which would be you have to pay to the patent office. There are costs that you would have to pay to a patent attorney, for the lawyer who would draw up the patent application for you. And don't forget that these patent proceedings can take some time. It may be years between filing and grant. And so if you're an innovator, an entrepreneur, you need to know that at the end of the process, you can commercialize your invention. It's going to make you money, and it's got to at least cover your costs.
And patents, they're not secret, are they?
No, not at all. Every patent application gets published. So it's a deal, actually, between the inventor, the innovator, and the government or the official organization which grants the patents. And the deal is that in return for the protection, you make your invention known to the rest of the world. And that's for all sorts of reasons, but one is, of course, to prevent other people from stepping on your invention. But all of these publications together are a very valuable source of technical information. And together, all this information gathered together in databases can stimulate further creativity and inventiveness to inspire another generation of inventions.
Yes, but there are secret inventions, aren't there?
Yes, there are. But as I said, patents get published, but companies very often don't want to do this. They don't want to have their inventions divulged to the outside world, so they resort to secrecy. For example, the world famous Coca-Cola recipe is a trade secret. It's something that the company has never divulged. It makes sure its staff never divulge this secret because it's much more valuable to them to keep it secret than to patent it. If you have an invention which could be easily reverse engineered, like something you can take apart, then secrecy is probably not the best way to go, and a patent would be better. But for Coca-Cola, it was the right choice because it's impossible to reverse engineer the recipe.
Thank you, Nigel. That was really interesting.
My pleasure, Camilla. Thank you.